Hi, everybody. It's Grandpa. Hi, Anna. Hi, Lydia. Lukey. Where's Carter? Hi, Carter. We're going to read from Mark chapter 8 about a man who met Jesus, but he was blind. He couldn't see. So, what is it like when you can't see? Well, is it like going dark like this? Or is it like that? Or is it like this? Where you can't see anything? Well, this man couldn't see anything. What do you know? So we're going to read what the Bible says about what Jesus did. So read with me from Mark chapter 8, beginning in verse 22. Jesus and his disciples came to Bethsaida. Some people brought a blind man to Jesus and begged him to touch the man. So Jesus took the blind man's hand and led him out of the village. Then he spit on the man's eyes, and he put his hands on the blind man and asked, "Can you see now?" The man looked up and said, "Yes, I see people, but they look like trees walking around." Again, Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes. Then the man opened his eyes wide. His eyes were healed, and he was able to see everything clearly. Jesus told him to go home, saying, "Don't go into town. You're healed. You can see." Isn't it wonderful that God gives us eyes so we can see? So we can see Anna and Lydia and Luke and Carter? Yeah. Jesus is so good. Well, Peter saw what Jesus did. In verse 27, Jesus and his followers went to the towns around Caesarea Philippi. While they were traveling, Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do people say I am?" They answered, "Some people say you're John the Baptist. Others say you're Elijah. Others say that you are one of the prophets." Then Jesus asked, "But who do you think I am?" Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of God." Jesus ordered his followers, his disciples, "Don't tell anybody who I am." Then Jesus began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things. He taught that the Son of Man would not be accepted by the older Jewish leaders, the leading priests and the teachers of the law. He taught that the Son of Man must be killed and then rise from death after 3 days. Jesus told them plainly what would happen. Then Peter took Jesus aside and began to say, "Lord, this isn't going to happen to you." But Jesus turned around and said to his disciples, he said, "Peter, you need to get away from me. You don't care about the things of God. You care only about the things you think are important." You see, Jesus was trying to tell Peter the truth of what was going to happen, but Peter didn't want to hear it because it sounded bad. Sometimes bad things happen, and we need to accept them and do our very best with what we have. God always loves us no matter what happens. So does Jesus. Then Jesus called the crowd and talked to them. He said, "If anybody wants to follow me, they must say no to the things they want. They must be willing to die on a cross, and they must follow me. Whoever wants to save his life will give up true life. But whoever gives up his life for me and for the good news will have true life forever. It is worth nothing for a person to have the whole world if he loses his soul. A person should never pay enough to buy back his soul. The people who live now are living in a sinful and evil time. If anyone is ashamed of me and my teaching, then I will be ashamed of him. And I will be ashamed of him when I come with the glory of my Father and with the holy angels. You see, what Jesus was saying was, he was saying, you may want to have everything the world can give you. But if you do that, then you can't have what I want to give you. I want to give you real happiness. I want to give you real truth. And you can't have what the world wants to give you and what I want to give you at the same time. You've got to either follow the world or you've got to follow me. That's the choice you've got to make. I hope you make the right choice. Are you going to make the right choice? I hope so. Follow Jesus. I love you guys. Bye-bye.